It has already been determined and expressed that those of the other generation, of the older generations, they're just not there. They're not going to make those changes. They don't understand, and in a lot of cases, they don't care. They are the ones that ushered us into the position that we're in now. But we are armed with so much more information. We are armed with so much more anguish and anxiety. And if we take that and we channel it effectively into strategic reform, into strategic coalitions and collectives, we can make that change that they failed to do for us and in a lot of cases for themselves. This time very much so can, and I think should be, the darkest before the dawn. Things are bad, and I do believe they're going to continue to get a bit worse. However, we are approaching multiple election years. We have a swath of elections coming in a couple weeks, next year in 2026, and then subsequently the general elections and more local elections in 2028. Going into this next decade, into the 30s, the 2030s, we have the ability and opportunity to, again, as we were acknowledging these analogs historically, we have this opportunity to have an analog of success, of progressivism, of reform, of social panacea. There's a possibility. It's there. We have the historical examples and we know what's required. But what it's going to take is the right people, the right forces to take that initiative. That's us. That's people that look like me. That's people of my shade and darker. That's people who find themselves to be part of minority groups. And I would go as far to say the young adult voting public is a minority group in and of itself, because most of us do not vote. So I want to take this as a call to action for one, but I also want to take this as a moment to really assess, analyze, and consider what the future can look like. To start taking initiative to build a plan. We have to take that initiative to build a plan, because the reality is the progress that we want to make, it's not all going to happen at once. Given our type of our system of government and the foundations of which it was built upon, it's virtually impossible to make any major changes, sweeping reforms with any degree of swiftness. It's going to take time. Gradualism is the way. But for that very reason, that's why we have to push as far as we can in the right direction, because there's going to be just as much pushback. But it's better to pitch and propose 15 items and get 7 than it is to propose 3 and only get 1. So we have to be willing to push. We have to be willing to take that initiative, and we have to be willing to have that hope. And even if you don't have the hope, that's fine. Take that spite, take that disdain, take that disillusionment, and turn that into purpose. It can be done. We have the understanding. We have all of the examples. We are seeing institutions and systems fail us in real time. So we know what the outcomes are going to be, and we know how we got here. And we also know what happens when enough of the right steps transpire in the right order for us to end up where we are. We know that. We have that information. So